wish to clarify and state that this journey and mission reigns in pure love with absolutely no fear, meaning we have no opponents in this war, that we are simply freeing ourselves, and in that freeing all of consciousness, the hard enlightenment, as it is said. This journey of education and ecstasy and bliss begins with the declaration of our right to enjoy, of our right to experiment within the realm of being, within communication, to rebel by singing our life, turning life into the art we already know it to be. There are certain issues that, or more so, kinks, knots, that I wish to address here. The peace we feel within ourselves, the love we feel within ourselves, must end our mission, must transcend group dynamics, must transcend power dynamics. And two, must venture into the vistas of memory. As Milan Kundera said, the antidote to kitsch is memory, in the book of Laughter and Forgetting. Two, I believe we cannot discount the importance and the depth of what has occurred throughout this lapse of time here. But we also cannot carry this trauma any further. As we open to the infinite realms within, that in venturing outwards, we are actually going inside. And the true understanding that as interdimensional beings, this 3D space serves as the circuit board, and that we can evolve in using our cognition, expanding the possibilities of what our cognition does, and two, evolving our diets, not just with food, but also with the information that we consume, and redefining exactly what information is. And I believe the subject-object divide is what hinders us from the totality of art. So, I welcome you true. Yes. And the alchemical stone. Um, a special friend of mine, um, Terence McKenna, when we began our correspondence, he would leave me rings, and they evolved over time, and sometimes they would break, and then I'd go through another dark night, and then I'd find one, and then I'd have to bury one that I found in 2019 when many of these visions, I think this was around the second installment of the visionary process when I was 19. And it was a ring just like this, without this center. And I have this one now that he gave me. So, here we are. And the uniqueness of each of us in our particular place in this time, our particular passions are arising. Now, I know some of you may have seen my video discussing my experience as a survivor of child sex trafficking. Now, I brought that to light as means of illuminating a truth that is being hidden, and also for the people who are fighting to seek justice in this are being deemed crazy and all these things. So I truly, that video, and that confession, I don't want that to be what defines any of this calling. That is simply a suffering I endured, and it is no different than the suffering that we all have endured together here. It is no different than your suffering. It is no different than your pain. We all have our particular corner in hell that we know, that we learn to love, to survive. We can learn something new. So here I am to welcome you to We Are All Shamans. Not just a movement. I wish there will be some way eventually to implore this without the density of the English language. But for now, I welcome you and revel in our time and how it will exponentialize into not something we are taken by, but something that we participate in with loving care, the way a God would upon its own face. Anyhow, I will leave it there. And as the catastrophe quickens. I dare you to sing in the streets, to dance, and to be a child, to be what we all still are and but are coerced into sequestering away. And to see the most ancient seed pearl in its eyes. Much love.